We are just inside the Beltway, about 10 miles east of the Capitol Dome as we come to you from FedEx Field here in Landover. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Baltimore Ravens and the Washington Redskins.
Kickoff return for a touchdown.
Break. Double tight. You got three down. Safe. Over.
On the ground, this is and he'll wind up with about 6, up past the 30 to the 31. He was solid last week, over 100 yards in their victory on the ground. They want to get that going again.
Absolutely. What they also understand is that from week to week, it's not necessarily the same, but they want it to be, right? What they saw last week on the ground, they want to see in this game as well.
Looking to throw. Knight. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up third down.
You get a tight end like this, and you know he's used to dishing out punishment, but here,
No,
he's going to have to absorb the contact, and as a result, unable to hold on to the football.
From the gun on third down. Knight. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And the Ravens have got it. And hopefully for both sides, not a sign of things to come, Charles. This morning, it was so perfect outside, but we knew this weather was coming, and we see the effects of it here early on.
And I wonder if how perfect it was this morning has psychologically fooled everyone. You know, it's almost like even though we were told the weather was coming, and you know the teams knew it as well, that maybe they got fooled and thought, it's going to be okay. And now they're probably a little upset that it's out there.
Because warm-ups were dry.
Oh, well, dry, and now you've got to make the change up, and it's the first quarter. It's taking a little time to settle in on their focus and concentration.
Oh, now he bowls him over. And he was able to shed the tackle, but the reserves come in for the stop. It'll be a pickup of 5 on the keeper. It's second down.
Defensively here, you're facing a top-5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high-powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20. Because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored, you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
They had great starting position to begin the drive, but now they look up at a 3rd and 5. From the gun, it's Jackson. And he is into the end zone for a Baltimore touchdown. Tyreek Hill with touchdown number 12 on the year. And the Ravens have taken the early lead. A good hold in these wet conditions. The point after is up and good. And that makes the score 7-0. Here's Tucker now out to kick this one away.
Number 8.
Touchdown! Baby! That's what I'm talking about!
A look at Washington as they come onto the field. And they had the fumble last time that led to a touchdown. That's a no-no. We'll see what they do here this go-around.
A big no-no. Put that in capital letters. Turning it over, the other team takes it down and scores. That can be a deflator for a football team. Now it's up to the offense to get back out on the field and pick things up.
You know, they're out there. We'll see if they can pick those things back up. Now, the first play of the drive there is incomplete.
Well, he'll definitely say that that's one he should have held on to. But when you're playing in elements like this, sometimes those bullet passes, those ones with a little bit of pace on them, they can be difficult to hold on to.
Here we go now. Green 39. Green 39.
Throwing again on 2nd and 10. Knight to Burden and the check down. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. It'll be a gain of 9, and that'll bring up a 3rd and 1.
And a nice gain and a broken tackle along the way, and really we shouldn't be surprised, should we? That's what runners do, especially the best ones. They break tackles and gain extra yardage.
They'll try to run for it with Barkley. And now nothing but green ahead of him. 20, 10, touchdown, Washington. Saquon Barkley with a lucky number 13 touchdowns now on the year. And the Redskins are an extra point away from tying this thing up. And it's no good. He misses the extra point, and this remains a 7-6 game. So we're back to a one-point game now as the kickoff comes. This fielded at the 2. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. Here comes the Raven offense now, ready for another possession. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked. But you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
The former second-round pick, this is Joe Mixon. And they work this well upfield across the 45. Good yardage as he rumbles for 24 and a first.
Boy, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral, also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
4 down.
They'll throw on first down with Jackson. On target over the middle to Hill. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. A very solid gain of 27.
And let's face it, that what we just saw there, not a surprise, is it? I mean, this is what he does well. And if you don't tackle him as soon as he catches the ball, this is the end result. Big yardage afterwards.
Got the speed, the agility, so good with run after catch. And we're only in the first quarter, so they better get a wrangle and a hold on that.
Yeah, exactly right. What's really difficult to try and defend him is if you want to press him so that you get him on the ground quickly after the catch, a lot of times he'll just run past you at the initial point of contact, and he'll go deep. And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
On second down, here's Jackson. Dancing to his left. And a loose football.
On plays like this when the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is a quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from it. In this case, though, the teammate is able to come up with the ball.
Now a first carry for Giovanni Bernard. Then running right through it. And brought down, but not before he was... able to break the tackle, and the extra effort moves the sticks.
Run. There we go. Woo! You got him. You got him. You got him. Stand up in. All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56. He's mine.
And now Jackson will look to throw it. Eluding the pressure right. Fights him off. And eventually taken down here. Great coverage downfield. And it's never good to take a sack. You really don't want to take one down here in this part of the field, down near the red zone.
Not at all, because you're already pretty much assured of a field goal. But you take a big sack, it could push you out of range, and that's why defenses get a little more aggressive in this situation. They're almost conceding the 3 points. They want to push you back and try and take you out of that.
Flush to his right.
Here we go. Here we go.
And his throw's going to be incomplete.
That's very well timed there defensively, because it's not a bad throw, but the collision came at the exact time he was reaching to bring in the football. Really, really well done.
Decent offense, just better defense. I think you're right.
All right, now, lucky
Seventh play of
56.
this drive
Lucky
coming
56.
up, but a long way to go on third down.
4 down, 4 down. Alert. Over.
He'll try and run for this. And he'll get it here to the 10-yard line. He'll get 7 yards there on the keeper, but still 4th down. And that looked like some pretty easy yardage there right up the gut.
And he's a guy that has some height to him, so when you don't have to drop a shoulder or create or get through contact or trash, makes it a lot easier to stay upright, see the field, and make a run as we just saw there.
And no signs of the field goal unit. They're going for it on 4th down.
4 down, 4 down. Check, check. Hut! Motion, motion, motion. Motion, motion. Hut! Hut! Hut!
So that'll back him up 5. And the first play will be a field goal try. And Tucker's kick right there. It's good. And they bump the lead up to 4 now at 10-6. So unable to convert for the touchdown inside the red zone, but they do come away with 3.
Yeah, it's a 32-yarder. That's essentially an extra point nowadays, right? Because it's 33 as a general rule for these guys. So it should be a simple kick. But you know what's really strange nowadays? When they miss an extra point, I think they carry that with them longer than missing a field goal, because an extra point's supposed to be automatic.
Absolutely, and I would think even field goals inside of 30 yards, even though they're substantially shorter than a PAT, it just has a different feel, doesn't it?
A different feel, a different vibe. That's what I get from all the kickers I talk to. They always say, if I miss an extra point, that's the one that bothers me more.
A first down carry for Barkley. And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level, because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat? And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is. Rush coming, and he's taken down.
So what's the word I'm looking for here about how this drive just started?
Disjointed?
I'll go with that one. I mean, think about it. First down, took a bad loss on a running play. Take the sack on 2nd down. Now they got to come up with something big here on 3rd.
There's some secondary help here for the defense in the nickel on 3rd and long.
Back. Watch him now, Barney.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And they'll be inside the 25 now at the 24. Give him 14 on the play, and that'll bring up 4th down.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits, and it's creases like they were able to exploit right there.
And Hopkins' kick is good. And that gets him back within a single point. It's now 10-9. So he splits the uprights, and has to be a nice feeling. Right when it left his foot, knew it was good.
Yeah, just like a good three-point shooter in basketball, right? Release the ball, fall back on defense without even looking. You know it's going in the hoop.
And now Baltimore gets set to take the field. And they split the uprights last time for 3. They've got the lead. They're not going to play this conservative. They're not hoping for another field goal. They're hoping for a touchdown.
I'm with you on that one. I like where your head is. I like the way you're thinking, because
Watch him now,
you're exactly
Barney.
right. Trying to sit on a lead and play that way, That doesn't work too well for most teams. Run your offense. Run what you do best. Exactly. Put it all the way down and try to increase your lead in a big way. And the best way to do it, touchdowns.
A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves them with a 2nd and 3.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on first down, that fits the bill.
On 2nd down, here's Mixon. Only 3 there on the pickup, but that's enough to move the chains.
So many teams want to throw the ball in this situation nowadays, but I love watching a team that has enough confidence to go ahead and run the football in that situation. That's almost a tendency breaker.
Hurry up, here we go. 3-19.
Now Jackson on first down. He can't bring him down.
The weight room does work.
Now he'll escape to it, and that's caught inside the 35. An excellent pickup of 34 yards.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play. They picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56. Check. 4 down.
Mixon with a first down carry. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
That play wasn't quite as big as the play that preceded it, but still, got to like the way they're moving the football, partner.
Absolutely. Pretty good room to run on that last play.
Yeah, they didn't get a first down, but still, you'll take runs like that each and every time, won't you?
No. Check. Patriot. Check 59. Mike is 59. Mike the 59.
Here's again to Mixon, and nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. In on the stop, the former Georgia Bulldog, Roquan Smith.
Well, we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading the play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
On 3rd down, Mixon. Oh, now he bowls him over. So he got free of 1 tackle, but couldn't do a whole lot else. 2 yards on the pickup there. It's 4th down. And now we're going to get a timeout called by the Redskin defense, as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. The field goal unit's going to stay put on the sideline. They're going to go on 4th down here.
Detroit!
They'll try and throw for it with Jackson. And my goodness, this is incomplete. So the defense has to stay out and get one more stop. They were able to do it, forcing the incompletion.
So on their record, that goes down as a successful play. Doesn't matter how they got there, how it happened. They got it done. They're the ones that are jubilant.
Watch the ship. Hey, watch the ship. Watch the ship. Gun! Now let's go.
They'll start out on the ground. It's Saquon Barkley. And he'll take it ahead to the 28-yard line.
Crash.
5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down.
And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on run downs. It confuses the blocking assignments. It doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the second level.
Double tight, guys. Double tight. Leopard. 3 down. Hey, check. 3 down. Hot. Check 99. Hey, watch it.
On 2nd down, here's Barkley. He finds an opening past the 40.
Run.
And down to the 19-yard line. A big play there just before halftime. 53 yards. So all of a sudden with that run, maybe now a chance for points here.
It's a total mind shift, isn't it? Because what you were saying before was, hey, let's just get out of here, get the half over with. Instead, we can get some points now.
Now a play fake here on first down. And his throw is incomplete.
It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
Yeah, I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but only the second quarter. A lot of time to change things.
Blue 90. Kill.
Now a handoff looking right. And they'll get him down right around the 16. It's a gain of about 3, but it's going to leave him with third and still 7 yards to go. And now the Raven defense going to call a timeout, as they'll stop it with 17 seconds to go in this first half of action.
Black 99 Philly, here we go. Hey, tight end's right. Watch tight end. 3 down. All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56. Joker. Motion.
On third down, Barkley. Calling no gain there, and it leads to a fourth down.
Get him, boys.
And now the Ravens are going to take another timeout, as they'll stop it with 14 seconds to go in this first half. And Hopkins' kick is good. And they take the lead here by 2, 12-10. Now, the drive ends in just 3, but they'll take it. Looks like they'll head to the locker room, barring something unfortunate, in front on the scoreboard.
Yeah, they may not be jumping up and down and celebrating because they have the lead, but still, any little momentum in a game like this is important to a team, and they'll feel real good about going in and regrouping, knowing that they are out in front.
Now the Baltimore offense heading back out onto the field. And from this spot in the field with the clock where it's at, you think we're just going to see a knee and that's it?
And I think in this situation, that's the proper play. But we do know there's some risk takers out there that may want to take one more shot before the clock runs out.
Final 10 seconds of the half as they've got it first and 10.
Gone! Hurry up, here we go. Blue 90. Over.
On first and 10, it's Jackson. He'll rifle this one deep right. Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. And we're going to get a timeout with 2 seconds remaining in the second quarter. Now Justin Tucker. He has hit from 61 in his career, so he has the leg for this. This will be from 56 yards out. And this kick is not going to be close. It's well short, well right to boot. So we've reached halftime here in D.C. in our nation's capital with a home team, the Redskins, on top. As we'll send you down the coast now to Orlando, that's where we find Jonathan Coachman ready with our EA Sports halftime report. Coach, forecast calling for more of the same. The rain set to continue as we are underway in the second half. Fielded about a yard deep. Out come the Ravens now. They'll go on offense first here in this third quarter. They're down here, but very much in this game. What's the tonality of a coach's talk when a game is within striking distance like this at intermission?
Typically, what they're doing is emphasizing the things that went well in the first half and wanting more of that. Sure, you've got to go over some of the errors and clean up some things because there's a reason you're down. But overall, I think they want to stay positive, stay up with this team. We're just starting the second half, and we've got the football. Let's go ahead and punch it in, and then we'll take it from there.
See how that recipe works.
Check, crunch.
They'll start out here with the option. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. A gain of 11 to kick off the drive, and it's a quick first down.
Well, partner, for a few years there, we thought this read option play was going to take over the whole NFL. It seemed like everyone was using it, but it has been scaled back considerably in the last few seasons, mainly because people are worried about their quarterbacks getting hit. But when you call it at the right time and you use it properly, you see the type of gains you can get. A nice chunk of yardage there by the quarterback.
So from the 36 now,
Detroit!
first and 10.
Motion. All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
Throwing on first down, it's Jackson. Flushed out right. Wide open receiver complete. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. A good pickup there, a 22. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. They'll run it now out of the gun. looking to find a lane, but he can't. Reined in at the line of scrimmage.
He has elite instincts from his linebacker spot. He's able to diagnose the run and flies in like a missile to stop that one behind the line of scrimmage.
Oh, another spin.
Hard to line him up when he does that.
And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. He's able to rattle off 6 on the carry, and that'll get him to 3rd and 4.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56. Gun, gun. Gun, gun.
He wasn't ready. He wasn't ready.
Now it's Jackson. He gets this in the hands of Mixon. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. The Raven passing game getting in sync. Another first down.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
It'll be a pickup of 5 on the keeper. It's 2nd down.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain, considering the blitz that they just had against them.
That's it, baby. That's it. Leopard! Leopard! Mike 5'9",
Hand off to Mixon. Looking for a cutback lane, but nothing there as he's met at the line of scrimmage. They'll say no gain on the play there, and now it'll be 3rd down.
That's it, baby.
A field goal would get them the lead, but that's not what they're shooting for as they come up on 3rd down.
Single, single. I got him, on me, on me. Mike's 50.
Detroit! Detroit!
From the gun on 3rd down, Jackson escaping the pressure right.
Crash.
Oh, you saw that one coming. It's intercepted, thrown back across his body. Darius Slay with a pick.
I think that interception happened for 2 reasons. Quarterback gets outside the pocket and panics a little bit, and receiver doesn't make sure he's absolutely in an open spot. So there's a guy lurking, took the ball from him.
Yeah, so don't wave your arms, right, as a receiver if you're not wide open.
Got to know that you're open. Otherwise, just don't do it.
Check! No, check that. We're going to Mike.
They begin with a run by Barkley. Room past the 20. And I think he's going to go. They're not going to get him. He's at the 40. Past the 20. And finally taken down at the 4-yard line. A tremendous play there from Saquon Barkley. An even 90 yards. Well, that didn't take long. One play, and we're already looking at a first-and-goal situation.
52's the mic right here.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Redskins. A great play there. Hitting double digits with his 10th touchdown of the season. And the interception by the Redskins leads to a touchdown. This time, the extra point up and good. And that makes this a 9-point game.
Washington is lined up for kickoff. Number 10.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This is taken at his 4. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. And now Baltimore gets set to take the field. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the ending, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
Hey. 4 down. Black 99 Philly, here we go. Check 24.
Here's Joe Mixon as they start on the ground. And he went nowhere. He'll lose yardage back to the 29. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be second down.
Wow, that play got shut down in a hurry.
As soon as the snap came, you could see defensively they were just closing in. That was going nowhere.
Yeah, you count on your offensive line to give you a little bit of space, a little bit of time so you can make a move. There was nothing there for him.
Look at 56.
On second down, Jackson. And a ability to run. Pretty nice gain on the scramble. Gets him 12 yards.
Man, defensively, that hurts. They got him out of his rhythm. They had him hemmed in, but somehow he was able to tuck it away and get away for a gain.
And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40.
Watch it now, Barney.
Good for 20 and a first down.
Detroit!
In that situation on 3rd and inches, it's not a surprise that you're going to have big-time guys up front trying to stop things, so you got to win the leverage game. And the offensive line did that. They got lower than the guys in front of them and pushed them aside. But even they had to be surprised at what the result was. That kind of yardage on 3rd and inches, that's not what you get on every play.
It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up second down.
Oh, partner, that play brought back memories. Watching them string it out, letting the runner get all the way to the sideline area, but not letting him get out of bounds. They formed that picket fence and didn't allow him through.
Not only that, got him for a loss as well here. And one of the reasons they lead in the 4th quarter, plays like that.
Yeah, it took a little more time off the clock, making him do it that way, didn't it?
Mike is 59. Mike the 59. We ain't giving up nothing today. All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56. 9. Detroit! You.
Now Jackson on second down. Got some real estate inside the 30. Throw right side is going to be caught by Kirk. That's good for a Raven first down, 15 yards there. Defensively, you said coming in earlier in the broadcast, the magic number was 20 points for you. That's what you thought they would have to hold this offense to, or less than that. And, wow, they've done that in a big way, haven't they?
And not only have they done it, they put
Detroit!
themselves in a great position to win this one because holding them down was paramount. If they could get it done, well, guess what? We see the end result. Right now, they have their eye on victory.
They're leading here in the 4th.
Detroit!
Throwing now, Jackson on first down. That's caught on the left side by Kirk. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up second down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Motion.
They'll go option on second down, right side.
Go. It's run.
Breaks a tackle. A gain of 8 on the keeper and a first down. Well, that little John helps, able to pick up the first, get out of bounds as well.
And he has to play a little bit of risk-reward here at this time because they need these first downs, but you know the risk is if they catch him inbounds and tackle him, the clock continues to run and grinds things for him. So he's able to get it done, get out of bounds, and conserve a little bit of time as they try and get the ball downfield.
Detroit!
From the red zone now, here's Jackson on first down. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And he's going to be brought down just shy of the 5 at the 6. Give him 8 on the play, and it'll make it second down.
Watch him now, Barney!
Yeah, he probably should have given that one off as he's going to get hit and taken down behind the line.
Watch him now, Barney!
That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a third down.
Well, that's the big drawback to this play. Even if somehow the quarterback pitches it, he's not immune to the big hit. In this case, he kept it and absorbed it anyway.
And he's not even going to get back to the line of scrimmage. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th. And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter. Let's see how this plays out.
Gun!
Here we go. It's Jackson on 4th down. And this is caught. Touchdown, Baltimore. Mark Andrews with touchdown number 8 on the year. And the Ravens have cut it to within a score. And he wasn't blocking or running it there. They tossed it to him.
And you remember the good old days when the 49ers were riding roughshod in the league? They use their fullback in pass plays all the time. Roger Craig, Tom Rathman, those guys were terrific at running these types of plays.
And this is going to be covered up by the Redskins. Well, 4th quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 90% of the time you win the game. I still wouldn't say that number is empirical.
And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old-school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run, got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
Saw it through 3 quarters, no reason to lighten up now. Clock continuing to run. They'll probably wind this all the way before snapping it on 2nd down.
Over!
Again, it's Barkley.
36.
Fighting his way through contact. All told, it's an even 30 and a 1st down.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the 4th as it was way back in the 1st, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate.
All right, here we go. Green 39! Green 39!
Let's go!
Hot! Over!
They'll try to run forward with Barkley. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere.
Oh, Brandon, I'm going to tell you, this is football time to me. They're inside the 10-yard line. That's like drawing the line in the sand. Who's going to make the stand here? Defensive guys, they know if he gets in the end zone, this ball game is over. And the guys with the football right now, I think let's just pound it in there.
He's got to hold him. And he is into the end zone for a Washington touchdown. Saquon Barkley with his 14th touchdown of the year, 2nd of the game. And the Redskins are going to add on to their lead. Hopkins with the extra point, and that makes this a 9-point game. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Ravens offense now, they get set and head back onto the field. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
They'll start by running the option to the right. space to maneuver at the 40. And past the 40 before he's out of bounds. Successful start to the drive, 17 yards. It moves the sticks.
You know, as a defensive guy, I don't normally do this, Brandon, but a tip of the cap to the offensive coordinator. Design quarterback run at this stage of the fourth quarter when I expected him to throw the ball, and he got a first down.
Yeah, trailing this stage of the fourth quarter. Picked up the first, stopped the clock, too.
Detroit!
Yeah, sometimes
Detroit!
there's some guts in play calling when you go against the grain because you know you could easily be criticized if it doesn't work out.
Over! Gun, gun! Gun, gun!
Check 31, check 31.
Hot!
Jackson on first down. And he's taken down, trying to do a little too much, getting outside of the pocket, and it results in a sack. Emmanuel Ogbah
Watch it now, Barney,
in there
Barney.
to get him, and that's sack number 8
All right,
for
now, lucky
him on
56.
the year.
Lucky 56.
35's the mic.
Here's Jackson, looking to throw on second down. Buying time to his left. And seeing nowhere to throw, he chucks this one away from harm. Incomplete. Now it's third down.
Oh, I like that right there. Not only was it the right play, throwing it away like that, frankly, I think it was the only play.
Yeah, got outside of the pocket, realized he had nothing, just chucked it free.
Yeah, live to fight another down, right?
The Ravens on third down. They're at 50%, 4 for 8. This will be third and a mile.
Don't let 89 go deep. Squad.
From the gun, Jackson. And he comes back with one complete. And he'll be brought down right at the 45-yard line. Now, they'll get 15, but that won't be nearly enough. It's fourth down. Time for a break. All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on fourth down. They're going for it. We'll come back and see this one out after this.
Gun, gun! Gun, gun! Gun, gun! Gun, gun!
As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Andrews. They keep the game alive, at least for the moment, as it's a first down.
Here we go.
Fourth down, trailing in the fourth quarter. They felt compelled to go for it, and they got it.
Well, I looked down at my play sheet, and what I would find, plays have been successful throughout the game that have worked in the distance you need, and that's exactly what they got done.
Looking for more there on first down, but this throw downfield, incomplete.
This defense is continuing to contest every deep ball that is thrown downfield. And, look, it doesn't matter whether you're playing man or zone. Eventually, that becomes man on man, and you've got to trust yourself and go up at that moment of truth and make a play on the football.
No,
An
check,
incomplete
Patriot,
pass on
Patriot.
first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10.
Hey, 4 down. Win the rep.
Now Jackson. And they're going to get him. He's taken down for a sack back at the 47-yard line.
But enough takes a start to have a good drive, quite like a big loss on a sack, does it?
Now they're looking at a 3rd and long, and suddenly the momentum shifted to the other side of the football.
And old Mo is a very, very fickle man.
We got it.
Jackson to throw.
Who that?
And incomplete. He had nowhere to throw, so he just tossed it away. But that brings up 4th.
And I think we'll probably see him go for it here on 4th down. No reason not to. Down a couple of scores, they have to try and make something good happen.
And how about this? 4th and long, and they're going to go for it.
Gun!
Check 59. Mike is 59.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
You remember me?
Gun!
Got to try it here. He's back to throw. And no, it's incomplete. They had to go for it with such little time remaining, and the Redskins are going to win the football game.
Watch it now, Barney!
Hey, we got 3.
Leopard!
Check 52.
Here we go.
Here's a give to Barkley. And across midfield. midfield he goes into Raven territory.
Oh, boy, I know you felt that one.
Jadeveon Clowney there on the stop.
The recipe's pretty simple, I think, right? Just give your superstar the ball, continue to feed him.
Yeah, don't overthink this one, right? Make sure he's touching the football, but you're also counting on his intelligence in playing the game as well. If it's not there, don't force the run. Just make sure you hang on to the football and keep the clock ticking.
Defense still with 3 timeouts. We'll see if they want to use them here as the kneel down comes. Well, Charles, the forecast called for rain throughout the entire game, and we got rain throughout the entire game. But these two teams, they had fun getting dirty out there. They love the slop.
Did you trust the forecast ahead of time? Are you one of those guys that's skeptical about it, or did you trust it?
But when I saw just a big blob of green on the radar, I said, okay, let's trust.
Yeah, and that's why I'm glad you took my advice. Got your notes laminated, because, you know, open-air booth, that rain can affect us as well, although not as much as the guys on the field. But let's face it, it's kind of fun to watch these types of games, isn't it?
It is. By the way, how impressive is it that you travel with a laminator? I didn't even know there was a portable laminator.
The things that you learn.
Golly, wise beyond his years. So for Washington, they continue to roll as the win gets them to 12-2 on the year. And they will hit the road next week to take on the Pittsburgh Steelers. Meanwhile, for the Ravens, this was basically just an exhibition game for them as they'd already clinched home field advantage. And they'll try to turn things around next week as they have a matchup in Cincinnati against the Bengals. So for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Next game, guess what? Charles and I will be here again. It's the NFL on EA Sports.